I want you to think of the last time you had an idea. A brilliant, groundbreaking idea. An idea that sparked excitement in you and had you envisioning a future where success was practically guaranteed. You saw your creation already in the works, or envisioned the flourishing startup already. You saw the amount of people you could impact, and the family and the friends and the loved ones that would see you as the pride of their community, the one that would reach unimaginable heights. You felt like a genius, wondering how on earth had nobody thought of this idea before? And you had that surge of confidence, or the thrill of putting your name next to CEO. You might have even daydreamed about being on Forbes 30 Under 30, or giving a TED Talk right here, inspiring millions of people worldwide. And in the midst of all of these thoughts, you were invincible. You were on top of the world. Well, the truth is, none of that's true. What you're experiencing, my friend, is a euphoric moment, a biology running through your blood, an experience that every single human out there had at least once. I hate to break it to you, but ideas are just like drugs. First, intoxication. The rush of dopamine hits as your idea hijacks your brain. An exhilarating high that paints a false glory of success and accomplishment. Next is withdrawal. The initial euphoria vanishes, replaced by the reality that your great idea isn't a cakewalk. And let's be real, chances are someone, somewhere, at some point already beat you into it. Last is anticipation. Now you're stuck in a desperate longing. You yearn for the next hit. It's an addictive mindset, a pursuit that keeps you stuck in this endless cycle of addiction. My friends, this relentless cycle will drag your mind into a dark shadow. With each new idea, you're left behind naked, with no real accomplishment. A life marked by unfulfilled dreams and a haunting sense of what could have been. We'll see, as a pharmacy student, I always like to know, what's the antidote? What's the solution to this misery? What's that medication that can break you loose from the cycle? Well, you guessed it. It's innovation. The truth is, innovation is what drives reality. Ideas, they're just derivatives, combined networks of experiences we have and objects we see. Humanity has more than enough ideas. Humans are wired to constantly make ideas. It's in our DNA. And those ideas are not really yours unless you do something about them, unless you innovate. 3 years ago, I left Egypt from a tiny city called Menia to travel abroad during the pandemic in the pursuit of education in the United States, at a tiny state called Rhode Island. At that time, my country was on deep health and economic decline. National tests were canceled. The educational system shut down, and the US Embassy refused to take any students. At that time, nobody thought about getting out of their homes, let alone study abroad. But I was raised to take risks, and I loved to make action. Action that is not necessarily effective or innovative, but just unique action. If everybody was going one way, you bet I'm taking the other way. Now, I agree. This was a little toxic, a little unconventional, a little risky, but hear me out. My consistent urge to engage in risky or unconventional action ensured that I never stayed stagnant in life, but kept me moving. Whether forward or backward, I was at least moving. And after overcoming an obstacle after the other, I traveled to the US. I landed at URI. And I started scanning my surroundings, looking around, trying to locate the best avenues where I could effect change. I knew I didn't come all this way to be a normal student. I wanted to be involved. I wanted to make change. It didn't take me long to find the URI student government. But I saw something. I noticed something. For years, the organization has been stuck in an ocean of great ideas, that never see the light of day. When an idea comes up that seems brilliant, everybody jumps on board with excitement, but somehow it eventually, ultimately, never materializes. So, I became president. And for the past year, I've been trying to figure out a way to transfer my passion for action into true innovation in our lives. What if we could turn those cycles of ideas into tangible actions that truly add value to who we are and what we do? So here's what I came up with. I want you to think of the cycle of ideas as a virus. At first, it looks small, weak, and barely noticeable. Yet as it hijacks your brain, it takes control over your mind, leaving you disoriented. Your ambitions blurred and your passion gets halted. The truth is, at birth, we were all free from these burdens. We were innovative by default. Yet as life goes on, we only get infiltrated with these viruses. At 5 years old, you wanted to build that new toy. At 10, you wanted to learn the piano. At 15, you wanted to start that YouTube channel. And at 18, you wanted to study abroad. And with every new idea that was once exciting now adds to the burden of your mental sickness, dragging you deeper into a tangle of these infectious viruses. And when time marches on and the next hit of reality comes, you'll be left with nothing but a chronic sickness of demotivation, procrastination, laziness, and self-doubt. Now, I want you to think of innovation as the antidote, a small little medication. And just like any medication needs to be taken on a small and consistent basis, innovation is the series of actions you're going to choose to take to regain control over your mind. Instead of wasting your time, perfecting your idea, adding all of its details, and falling in love with its promises, you're going to choose to take the first small action towards it. In other words, it's the proactive decision you're going to choose to take to fall in love with your actions rather than your ideas. Over the last year in the student government, instead of drowning in an ocean of ideas and promises of no value, we've started battling these viruses left and right. And with every virus that we took down, we made a new innovative initiative towards something that truly impacts the students. For us, that was a new music system we introduced into the dining halls. It was revamping the university study room policies. It was creating what will soon be the first ever academic syllabus bank at URI. For you, this antidote, the small action you're going to choose to take towards your idea, could be creating your first product as a business owner. It could be taking this fashion class as a STEM major. It could be creating this new course as a faculty member. But it could also be crafting this gift you had in mind for a loved one, or finally taking this trip across Europe with your friends. Innovation is truly beyond corporate life, academia, or the startup world. It comes in all shapes and forms. It's not even a skill, but more of a mindset that you need to build. It often serves as the decisive factor between a life of fulfillment and one filled with regret. Being addicted to ideas is not really an analogy I'm trying to create here to scare you. It's the truth. And just like any other addiction, the more time you submit to it, the harder it will be to escape. And for that reason, the battle of innovation against the cycle of ideas is our only hope to achieving a truly fulfilling existence. And you can bet it's not an easy battle. But as we go through the withdrawal phase, looking back at the roads not taken, innovation doesn't prompt us to escape from our past, but it encourages us to run towards our future. It's not about fleeing something, but about embracing a greater mindset. So let's embrace this and run towards innovation, where our dreams are not left behind, but are waiting to be realized. Let's break free not from, but into the vast realms of not what could have been, but what can be. My name is Ramez Rizk, and thank you so much.